Everyone, welcome to Sims World. In the last episode, it was Easter with these guys, but I do gotta tell you guys, behind the scenes, Ambrose and Sabrina both aged up, so we'll have to edit up their looks, real fast. But let's just check on Leilani and them. I want to make sure that they are not aging up anytime soon, or we might have to do their birthdays in this episode. Okay, so the baby's birthday's today, but Leilani's until next week. So the baby will be aging up, so might as well do him. So tag Aloha. Why don't you go upstairs and we can age up them Bambino, and then we can Kai, and then we can just edit up all three of their looks. So Kai aged up. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he's got an angelic. So we're gonna edit up his look. Don't worry. So I'll be back once we edit up all the looks. Okay, so let's go down to looks, and I'll explain everything with each character and what I have planned a little bit with them. So, Sabrina, if you guys don't already know, which you guys should already know, but she is a witch, so she's really like a powerful witch, because her mom was one of the evil witch, that ended up possessing her father and killing him and killing other people. But anyways, she's not like that. She has the power of bringing people back to life as well as other powers. And she's starting to realize that now that she is a teenager, her powers are at full force, and she can pretty much do anything. So she doesn't really care what other people think about her, because she's powerful, as the being that she is. So this is her everyday look. Her formal, her athletic, her sleepwear, her party wear, her swimwear, her hot weather, and her cold weather. Now let's move on over to Ambrose, her brother, which is actually her twin brother, but they are not identical twins. But anyways, Ambrose, on the other hand, did not get the gene of becoming a warlock or a witch, whatever you prefer to call him. So he's mortal, and because of that, he kind of feels like left out. He kind of feels like he isn't as important as his sister is. So he doesn't really care what people think, and so he kind of just take it upon himself to do whatever he wants to do, with his style and clothing, which obviously I think Noah and them really don't care, because Noah and them don't really seem like the people that would really care how you dress. But this is, like, he doesn't really care. Like, this top, to him would actually be considered one of his sister's tops that he's using. His formal, again, I think he's pretty casual type. This is his athletic look, even though I don't really think he's going to be much athletic. His sleepwear, again, pretty casual. He doesn't really mind what people could think about him. His party look, again, something that he just kind of chose. He didn't really care much of what people think about him. His swimwear is something that I personally liked. To be honest with you, they actually preset this. Besides his earrings, I changed. But I think he just didn't really care. Like, he doesn't care. He's like one of them people, like, really chill, doesn't care what people think about him. This is his hot weather and his cold weather. Now let's go on to the baby real quick, Kai, and then we'll jump into the episode. So this is Kai. Kai is the son of Tagaloa and Noah. Kai, I don't know, Kai just seems a little bit young to figure out what he wanted yet. So, a lot of these, I think, like, his dad Nems chose. So far, you guys seen his, hold on, let me go back. This is his everyday, his formal, his sleepwear. I think he just kind of wore a diaper because it's always hot in Solani. His party wear. This is supposed to be like a designer top. That's what I kind of am going with. His swimming gear. His hot weather and his cold weather. Now let's get into the game. Okay, so we are back. First thing that I notice is Jace needs some food, so Noah, go ahead and take care of that. But anyways, so anger management. Sometimes I get so angry that I don't even know what to do with myself. How can I deal with the things when I can't even? So I think he's saying this more so because he's starting to realize, like, and kind of get angry about the fact that he kind of got the short end of the stick with his sister. So he's asking, I believe, Tagaloa about this. And so Tagaloa would say, talk to someone. And there's something wrong with Sabrina. I don't know, Sabrina's watching a sad show. That's why she's crying like that. Okay. But so I do have something planned eventually with Ambrose, but I don't really want to rush it along, but you guys kind of got a hint at it, like, kind of, with what he has on. And I said about what it's supposed to be, his sister's shirt, so it kind of got hinted at that, but, it's not going to happen right away. But, I think, like, he's really starting, what was the point of that? But, he's really starting to, not know really what he wants to do because him and his sister have a good relationship, don't get me wrong, but he kind of feels like he was wronged and that he doesn't feel like that was fair. It's Sims Dependence Day coming up. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. But he, has decided that to hold things off because he doesn't know how people are going to react to it quite yet. But, Sabrina, in a sense, already knows how he feels, but in a way, she doesn't have enough compassion to understand where he's coming from. Like, he just feels like he's being a little bit childish about it. And I'm just buying the baby a bed. So that's why she doesn't really say much about it. I think she just kind of feels like he's being childish and he needs to get over it type of thing. But what she's not understanding is, in a way, he is getting the short end of the stick. Which is going to cause a little bit of a drift between those two. And then the baby's going to age up soon. The other, Leilani is, so I'm not gonna do. Okay, so Sabrina's now just like talking online with Lana Banana, and Lana Banana's like, listen, I'm not going to be here for a long time anymore. I've decided that it's probably my time to soon go, and so I just wanted to point this out there that you are a very powerful being. Um, and behind the scenes, we have been working together on your powers, and I know that you know that, but I think it's time that we kind of separate and you try and do things by yourself. So she said, today, the only thing that I would like you to try to do is to actually figure out what you want in your life. Do you want magic to control your life, or do you want magic to be there but not control your whole entire life? So Sabrina's really having a tough decision right there with what she wants to do. Does she really want magic to be a whole part of her life, or does she want to kind of go down the life of like her brother and them, live as normal mortals, not have to worry about quite of anything? Because if she really wanted to, she could live the rest of her life as a teenager. Um, she could even spell like her brother and M to and that, but to help him out. But she just doesn't know what to feel. Like she knows that her brother feels a little bit off about things, and so she's really having a tough decision about what to do right now. As for these guys, though, they seem to be doing pretty good, considering what happened in the last episode with the Easter Bunny. But Leilani, let's check up on you guys. Leilani's really tired, so Vincent, could you maybe put Leilani in bed? And then Kai, how are you? He's a little bit tired too. So Tagaloa or Noah, one of you two, could you maybe put... Oh, Sabrina's already ahead of it. Okay, so Sabrina's definitely on the head of that. So that's quite cute. Um, so Sabrina is gonna go down and like ask her brother, like, hey, do you wanna maybe hang out together, just us two? Maybe we could go and check out the waterfall or something. Because I kind of sense that our relationship is kind of... So she's like, do you want to go, kind of thing? Because I kind of sense that there's like been some type of thing between us, and I don't want it to be there. Like, you're my brother. I don't want things to be out there. Like, I know that we were raised differently. Like, you were raised by Noah, and I was raised by Dad for a while, and now Noah's raising me too. And I know there's a little bit of hesitation there at first from you, but do you think that we could maybe just hang out tomorrow? Maybe. And she's like, listen. She's like, I would like that. I want to clear my air with you and kind of show you what I feel like, because frankly right now it just seems wrong. So It's really late, so I'll be picking this up in the morning. I'm gonna have all these guys head to bed. Okay, so it's um the next day. Sabrina and Em have already taken the day off of school because they're gonna take the day with Noah and Em's approval. Um, to kind of rekindle their relationship a little bit as sister and brother. So they have decided that they're gonna maybe go to the waterfall, maybe just kind of go swimming, go to the beach, have a little bit of time together, and see how things go. And see if they can kind of air their grievances with each other because they noticed, like, after, like, they aged up and all that, there's been a little bit of tension between them off camera, and they've noticed that, and so they don't want to go down that road, but you never know what's going to happen. Okay, so they're here at the waterfall. They're just playing right now with each other, splashing each other. I think he might attract a frog to see if he could catch one because Pepper kind of promised one to Sabrina. However, Sabrina never really got her, so I think he might try to pick one for her. But this is kind of just how things are going to begin with them playing. And then Sabrina's going to ask him, like, so what's with all this tension? Like, he's attracting the frogs right now. So she's like, what's with all this tension? And he's like, it's just been like, he said it's just been kind of like, you got everything in your life. Like, you've got, caught the hardest Alani, but he said you got the powers from mom. You've got things that I haven't got. And to me, my whole life, I've always just kind of been your little brother in a sense. And that's just how things have always been. And I just don't know what to feel about my identity. So he caught her a frog, finally. He got her a striped eggplant frog, which I think is the same one he got. But, so he's like, I know, like, that might sound rude, but that's just how I feel. And she's like, but that wasn't my fault that I got the powers. If I could give you my powers, I would. I don't know what else I can do for you, Ambrose, to help you with this. And so he's like, I know, I just don't want this to, she's like, I just don't want this to kind of end our relationship as siblings because I do care about you very much, Ambrose. And she didn't really care for the frog. But, I mean, maybe it's because they aren't really seeing things right now from each other's point of view. Sabrina's kind of like, she's trying to, but she doesn't quite understand where Ambrose is coming from. And Ambrose's point of view is like, he seems things as like Sabrina's getting everything handed to her, but in a way, it really isn't Sabrina's fault that she got the powers and he didn't. So she, on her other hand, is going to try and make things better as much as she can, but she doesn't know how quite yet. She's like, I'm gonna try to make this. I don't know how I could. I mean, maybe I can. I can talk to Lana. Maybe she'll be able to help us. And Ambrose's like, listen, it's not even just about the powers. It's always been in my life where I am always. It's not Ambrose. It's not Ambrose. It's not Ambrose. It's always, oh look, that's Sabrina's little brother. And she's like, I can't do nothing about that. And this guy, I think he's trying to, Duramic is trying to help us out with a little bit of advice, but even though he doesn't know, like, really what they're talking about, because he's just trying to help us out. And so I think Ambrose at this point is probably getting, like, a little bit frustrated that Sabrina's just kind of not really listening to him in his eyes, but she really is listening to him, but in his eyes, she's not. So he's just going to go ahead and head home. As for Sabrina, she's like, I wish she's going to talk to this guy and like say, I wish he would just understand why I'm saying the things I'm saying. Like, he doesn't understand where I'm coming from, that what we're talking about, I can't really tell to you, but what we're talking about is not really my fault. He's not understanding that, and do you have any advice that you could possibly give me? And he's like, listen, I used to fight with my sibling, and they were always younger than me, and so he said, I really don't know what to say, but without knowing what your situation is, but he said, sometimes siblings just act like that. And Makoa, I always wanted her to meet Makoa. Like, I always liked Makoa. So, and Makoa's like, listen, I have some siblings, and I overheard what you guys were saying. I come from a family of magic. My siblings got the skill, but I didn't. I think I know how, in a way, your brother feels. Like he was left out. And that's what I think he's trying to explain to you. But obviously he did it the wrong way. But I think I was in your brother's shoes at some point down the line with my siblings not long ago. And she said, I would just confront him and say, like, listen, I know where you're coming from. And he said, I would look into it because there is a way to potentially give him powers, not making him a witch, but there is something very close that might be able to help him out. So, she definitely got some vital information from Makoa, and not only that, she and Ambrose are on a little bit of a rocky state right now, guys. But I am going to go ahead and end it out here. So, this one, we did kind of show them aged up. And then, not only that, her and Noah kind of, or her and Ambrose kind of already seem to have like a little bit of a disagreement, and where they kind of didn't understand each other, but with some help from a little bit of strangers, some complete stranger giving them a little bit of advice, and a new friend in Makoa giving them a little bit of advice as well, that came from the same kind of background. He gave them a little bit of advice and kind of helped Sabrina understand where Ambrose was coming from. And I think Sabrina's starting to understand things, and she's going to look into things that might be able to help her out with making Ambrose feel a little bit better about things, or possibly even give him powers. So with that said, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Peace.